Welcome, and this is the second tutorial for using the iPad with Google Drive. So I'm into my Google Drive account, and we had talked about the idea of, in the last one I showed you how to actually create documents. You have the ability with the tablet to create both Word documents and Excel spreadsheets. So we talked about that. You can always add an item to Google Drive on a computer situation. So if you have a desktop or a laptop, some other place, you have the ability to add to your Google Drive account. You can get to your Google Drive account from anywhere that you have internet access to. So once you have items here, one of the other things that's really nice to do with cloud storage like Google Drive, you can also do this with Dropbox as well, and that is to share the document with other people. Maybe you're working on a collaborative project, and so you like to be able to get this to other people. So there's a couple of different ways that you can get things out of Google Drive to others. I'm going to show you one of them. So let's say this particular item here, this test Word document, is something that we're going to want to get to other people. So I'm going to open this up. We've seen this one before. This is just the test Word document. Now we have the ability, like I said before, if we wanted to do something different with it, in other words, if we wanted to get into the Word toolbar and do some more things, we would just click on desktop either here or here in order to do that and do some more work. But let's say we're all done with all of this. There's a couple of different things that you can do in order to get this somewhere else. So one of them is, and this is probably one of the easier ones, especially since you don't know if anybody else that you're dealing with who you want to share this document with has access to the Google Drive. So in other words, has a Google account. You might not be sure if they do or not. This is the safest way if you're not sure. And that is if you go up to your top of your toolbar area right here above, this is kind of like my bookmarks. So you may have something here, you might not have something here. But if you go up to this area that's a square with a line through it, it might look a little bit different. I happen to have upgraded to the iOS 7, and you might not be at the iOS 7, you might be at the iOS 6, so there might be some type of a different button that shows how to share or your ability to send it somewhere. So I'm just going to touch this button and I get some choices here. I can do a number of different things. I can print it, I can bookmark this item, I can upload it to Twitter or Facebook or whatever. The easiest thing for us to do in this particular case, if we don't know, or even if we do know, is you can just click on Mail. And it now has created a link for you automatically, sent from my iPad. It has this, where it came from is right here. Here's your subject, and all you have to do is type in the email address of somebody that you want to send this to. You could put more than one person on this email address, so if you were collaborating on a project with more than one person, you would just come over here to the plus sign and you'd have the ability to add more people. When you are all done, just touch the send button and it has now been sent. So that's all there is to how to send it with an email. Okay, so that was sending it in an email. The other thing you can do is actually share the document, and this is a real neat feature, also easy to do. If you go over to this arrow here, just to the right of more, there's that drop-down arrow that gives you the additional toolbar. But if you go over to this spot here, there's this little double chevron pointing in the down direction. And if you touch on that with your finger, it's going to open up this other area here. And it gives you two things. If this was something where you just wanted to work on it and maybe you have already shared it, you're working on it with somebody else, you wanted to maybe insert some comments, you can click on here and pop your comments in wherever you need to be. Basically, you just put your cursor wherever it is that you need it to be. And then you click comments and you can just start typing, and it's an insert comments just like we've used before. It just allows you to do it on a tablet. But if you wanted to share this document, again, let's assume the document is done. You have everything all set that you need. We've just hit this little chevron, turned it from the down position to the up position, and we have this blue button here marked share. So if you take your finger and you tap on share, we've created a link. You can share this link either with Google Mail, anybody that's already in Google Plus. If you have that account, that's a more advanced app within the Google platform. Here's your Facebook and Twitter. This shows that this particular person, this is you, is the owner of this particular file. And all you have to do is down here where it says invite people, just touch down in that particular spot. You can now add email addresses or distribution lists or whatever you have that you can put right in this particular box. And if you look to the right, you have this little can edit, and there's a drop-down menu here. So it defaults to can edit, which means if you share this particular file with somebody, they have the ability to make changes right on the document. And if you're both sharing it, you will both see the changes. But maybe if you're the owner, you only want them to comment on it. Well, then you would just touch the can comment. Or maybe you just want them to view it. You're the owner, you don't want them to make any adjustments or changes to that document at all. You can just list it there. Again, you're just tapping on that little down arrow to the right of whatever the words are. I'm going to put it back to can edit. Then this one, you don't have to do this. You can uncheck this, but I kind of like that. Notify people by email. This way there'll be an alert there that tells people, hey, here's something that I'm sharing with you. So that's kind of a good thing, especially if they don't know it's coming. You could also touch on add message. You'll get a dialog box where you have the ability to say something like, hey, here's that file I said I was going to send you when I talked to you on the phone yesterday. Please look it over, make any changes, and let me know when you're all set, whatever you want to do. You can also send a copy to yourself, or you can paste the item itself into the email. That way they don't have to do any logging in or whatever. They can click right on the link. And then when you're all done, when you have entered the email address of whoever you want to share it with, and again, you can share it with more than one person, just like you normally do in an email address. You just have a comma, and then put your other individual person in there, or people, just with additional commas. So if you have this all set, all you need to do is hit share and save. And now, as you can see, what has shown up here is here's the additional person that you've shared this particular file with. If you want to share it again, you can invite other people. Notice that the person has can edit access. You can actually then, once you've shared it with them, you can change the access. Also, if you've decided maybe you started on a document that you're collaborating with somebody, but your piece is now done, you no longer want to be the owner, you actually have the ability to send the ownership to an individual person. So if I just clicked on is owner, I'm no longer the owner. The other person is the owner. If they want to take away the share permission back with me, you know, that's a good way to get rid of something if you don't want to have all kinds of files and folders and so forth just clogging in your box. If you're already done with it, you don't necessarily need the stuff in your inbox anymore. So you have the ability to give the ownership. You can also change it from can edit to can comment and can view only, just like we've showed before. When we're all set and done, we just hit done, and we're good. Now, since we're still sharing it, we have this particular document. It belongs to us at this particular point, but we've shared it with that other email address that I put in. So this item is now shared. We don't have to do anything, as you may recall if you watched my Google Drive videos for the desktop and laptop platforms. Remember that Google Drive does an automatic share, and so, or I'm sorry, an automatic save. So there is no save button that you have to hit as you're typing or editing or doing different things to the documents. That happens automatically. So hopefully this was helpful to you. I've showed you 2 ways to send things on. You can actually send it in an email as attachment, or you can share. And hopefully those will be the more common things that you're going to do, and they'll help you out when you're ready to do that. As always, you can always contact me at robert.payne@baker.edu or at 810-766-4053 in case you need any additional help or have any other questions. Thanks. Hopefully this is helpful for you.